Hello Yellow class, welcome to your home learning for Tuesday. So we're going to run through, like we did yesterday, into the activities that you're going to do today. So we're going to start off again with phonics and we will have a look through at our speed sounds. Are you ready? I'm not going to join in today, but I need to make sure that you're joining in with me, so make sure I can hear you, but doesn't mean you need to shout. Well done. Right, let's have a look with our highlighter pen, see which sounds we can pick. A, well done. G, well done. E, well done. E, T, V, well done. And our tricky words for this week, have a go at writing them. Start seeing if you can write them a little bit more from your memory. So starting off with path, think about how the word looks, have a go at writing it down. P-A-T-H, path. Bath, B-A-T-H, bath. Have a go at writing it down. Hour, H-O-U-R, hour. Water, W-A-T-E-R, water. Even, E-V-E-N, even. Okay, so those are our tricky words for this week. Make sure you're practicing them. Today, with those words, have a go at writing some of them. So the ones that are on here, all of these are phonically correct. So you could try writing some of these. And when we're writing them, you might want to look at them or you might want to have a go. So maybe somebody could read one of the words out for you and you could have a go at writing it down. Okay? Again, I showed you where phonics play was, and that was a phase 5 sound. So you could play a game on phonics play as well today if you would like. But there are some words, so have a go at doing some writing today. Again, spelling shed, all set up by Mrs. Welling. You've got a common exception word one, you have got a suffix words to have a go at, and you've also got some words to have a go at spelling. Guided reading, make sure you are doing some reading today. Try to read for 15 minutes. Counting, today, try counting in twos. Now, you might need to write down, sometimes I know when we're counting in twos, we write down those end numbers to help us remember, don't we? Because it starts 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. So what we can do is we can count up, then when we get to 8, it jumps back up to 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, back up to 20. And again, you can have a go at playing the game where I say 3, you say 3. So 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. You could have a go at saying 1 and then the next person you could count up saying 1 each. So have a go at doing some counting. And then we are carrying on with subtraction again today. So subtraction is shown by this symbol here, means taking away. Year 2, we always start with a bigger number and we are taking away from that a smaller number and we get an answer at the end. Now this answer here is always smaller than the number that you started with. Won't necessarily be smaller than the number you took away, but it will be smaller because you've taken from this set here, okay? Remember, you might be using resources and you might be using Deans if you've got some, or you might use straws or bricks, whatever you've got. If you're using that, I would tend to group it in tens and then have some single ones. You might draw some number lines, you might just draw your Deans. Have a think about what you want to do. Now today, You might still be taking away where you're not crossing the tens boundary. That's absolutely fine. So if we look at 59, we're going to draw that first of all. How many tens in 59? Well done, there's 5 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 9 ones, so we can draw those. And then we've got our 35 here. This is what we are taking away. We don't draw our 35, we take our 35 from here. Now 35 is made up of 30 and 5. So how many of my tens do I need to cross out? Well done. Need to cross out 3 tens. How many ones? 5 ones. I'm going to start at the top because 9 and 5 are both odd numbers. So I'm going to start at the top because then it's easy to see what I'm left with. Then I need to count up to find my answer. So I've got 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I could do that on a number line, the same as I did yesterday. So I've got my number line. My biggest number that I'm taking away from always goes at this end because we're counting back. 59, I've got 35. 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each of these is a 10. And again, like yesterday, you might want to take off 30 in one jump. Each of these is a 1. You might want to be able to do that as a 5. Where it doesn't cross the tens boundary, you might be able to do that. If you were really good at that yesterday and you think you need a bit more of a challenge, maybe start with some of these that don't cross the tens boundary. Then you might want to have a look at some that cross the tens boundary. Now, what we mean by that is your ones on the number you're taking away are bigger than the ones from the number that you're taking from. So if I draw 52, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my 2, so I've got 52. When I come to take off 27, oh, I haven't got 7 to take away. What I need to do is I need to exchange. What I do, and what we do, parents, is we draw this out to help us remember that we have exchanged. We're not taking it away at this point. We are still just exchanging. We're going to swap one of these tens for 10 single ones. So we exchange it for the 10 single ones. Now I can cross off the 7. Okay, and my answer is what I'm left with here. So I've got 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, now parents, one thing that you might notice when your children are doing this, sometimes when they go to draw the 10, they include these in the 10. So if we had 2 ones, instead of drawing 10, they would only be drawing 8 and then taking away, so they would be getting the wrong answer. This exchanging, we have looked at this in class, but it is something that we're working on. So have a go at that. That is a little bit of your challenge for some of you. And make sure you feel really confident with that. You can, again, do this on a number line. Sometimes when you're crossing the tens boundary, it's actually easier on a number line because you don't have to worry too much about that exchanging. But your 52 would come here. So 52 is at this end. You're going to draw your 27 on the top. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are your 10s. And again, you might want to do that as a jump of 20. So 52 take away 20 would be 32. Now, you could take it away in ones. Absolutely fine. We'll get you the right answer. You might want to think about splitting this 7 into 2 and 5. This is a step on, okay? So 32 take away 2 will take you to 30 because this is your 10 that you're crossing. Then you take off the 5 and you end up with 25. Luckily I've got the same answer. It's always embarrassing when you get the wrong answer. Okay? So, have a go. This is your challenge for later on, okay? So, how the world was made, again, that video of that story is on the website. I've already saved that. So, you can have a listen to remind you. Yesterday, you were having a go at drawing your own story map and putting your own things together. So, how the something was made. So, I did yesterday how the cake was made. So, in your writing, what you're going to be doing is having a go at starting to write some of that story, okay? So today you're going to be writing and you're going to put your title at the top. So now mine was cake, how the cake was made. Now, it is quite a long story, so if I was doing this, I would just look at 2 pictures at a time. So my story, once upon a time, there was no cake, there was only hunger. My first 2 sentences. So I'm going to start off, capital letter at the beginning, always a capital letter at the beginning of a sentence. Try to remember those. I know some of you find those a bit tricky to remember. Please make sure you're doing this in your lined book. The lines aren't there at the moment. Make sure you're doing it in your lined book. So once upon a time, there was no cake. At the end of a sentence, we need a piece of punctuation. It's going to be a full stop. Capital letter for the next sentence. There was only, and only, the E at the end of a word is made by the Y. There was only hunger. Full stop. Okay? I suggest today you're going to write this story over 2 days. I would suggest that halfway is about here. So if you get to the end of the 4th day, then you can start the end tomorrow. Okay? Have a great Tuesday and I'll see you all this afternoon.